In my time that I've lived, I've met and dealt with a lot of people who unfortunately for some reason think that it's okay to not show emotions, or for some reason think that it's a sign of weakness to show feelings. And unfortunately that leads to them acting in a very inhumane way that unfortunately some humans are not supposed to be feeling or acting towards other humans. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Emable, aka The Fallen King, and as always, today is going to be lit. So today I'm going to be telling you about my experience with some of these people and how I dealt with it. Okay, so let's start out by saying this. I have met some of these people, and some of these people for some reason happen to be I guess pet owners or animal lovers or animal activists. And I don't know if I ever touched on this subject before, but something about them that I've noticed is that for example, on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube videos, when there's something interesting that's happening that regards an animal or a pet, a lot of these people tend to lash out to the creator or people involved in the comment section, most of the time talking about, oh, I can't believe this person is doing this to this animal, it's animal cruelty, or I can't believe this person would allow this to happen to this animal, that's animal abuse. And I can definitely understand, I love animals. I grew up not being an animal person, mostly because of my past. Where I'm from, pets were not really a thing. Where I'm from, interacting with wild or animals that were considered wild or domestic animals, it wasn't a thing. The only animals that we were okay in living around were like farm animals. So that kind of puts out dogs and cats and things like that. Anyway, to get to the point that I'm trying to make, it's like this. These people, when they're getting in these kind of feelings, they get to the point where one time I was looking at a post or a video on, I believe, Facebook, and something happened to an animal. I don't exactly remember all the details, but something happened, and I came across this comment where eventually one of these animal lovers or animal activists were, I guess, wishing death on the person involved just because of something that happened without, by the way, any context to what's happening behind the scene. Like, people will take a 1-minute clip and instantly come up with all these conclusions of what happened. They will assume whatever they want without wanting to hear somebody out on their opinions or thoughts, and they always think that they're right about what they're saying. And I know that this is narcissistic behavior, and I don't know, you guys tell me what you think about this subject. But anyways, something that happened there. So there was this person that I used to talk to for a while, and this was a person who was very close to me. Mind you, I really loved this person because they were just so dear to me, man. The first time we talked, we connected so well that we ended up spending many years talking to each other. And so something that really drew me away from them was something that happened that involved people. Now, this person, even though they were pet owners, animal lovers, they weren't animal activists in the scenario that I just explained. So something that happened that drew me away from this person, it was something that involved two little kids. A post on Facebook that I saw that completely showed me their true side, their true dark side that I did not appreciate. Okay, so in general, I'm a very nice, kind, and loving person. I strive on helping other people and loving other people no matter what. I'm not a confrontive or argumentative kind of person. I will do anything to make you happy, even though whatever I'm doing doesn't make me happy. I will do anything to make somebody smile, even though I get nothing out of it. And so that kind of gives you exactly what was going on through my mind when I made the decision that I did. So let me lay out the story for you on what happened. So a while back, I was going through Facebook. So I don't use Facebook a lot because to me, I mostly use it for kind of business reasons. And so when I do use it, it's mostly to do that, business things. And or I will use it to just, look at certain things just because maybe I'm bored. And so one time I was going through Facebook and I came across this post. It was a video that somebody had posted showing an incident where two little kids were unfortunately unsupervised who walked into their backyard, and one of them decided to walk into the pool. And so they walked into their backyard pool, and for some reason they kept walking further towards the deep end. And so eventually the water kind of carried them off to where they couldn't touch the ground. And I guess nobody had ever taught them how to swim. Nobody had taught them how to act in water. So, mind you, when this was happening, when one of them had walked into the water, the other kid was shortly behind them. The other one was kind of following behind, not too far. So, as that first kid kind of got lifted off the ground and couldn't touch the ground anymore, they started, I guess, drowning. They started panicking because they couldn't breathe. So that kid managed to stay above water for a while, and the other kid, obviously seeing the other kid panicking, also started inching closer to the end, trying to reach out to the other kid. Now, mind you, these kids are around, I think 3, 4, somewhere like that. And so basically the kid that had went in first eventually couldn't fight it anymore. They couldn't fight keeping their head above water anymore, and eventually they ran out of power and the water overtook them. And so the other kid was also treading water, trying to stay above, because they had tried to get closer to their sibling who was panicking. And so in doing so, they also got lifted off the ground, which meant they drifted even further into the deep end. And so they were also treading water, and they couldn't get to the edge or turn back around. And so eventually, choking on water and not being able to breathe, they eventually couldn't fight the water again. And so the water just went right over their head, and they just couldn't fight it anymore. So they just both unfortunately disappeared under the water. And so seeing that left me very heartbroken. Not only because I've seen and have bad experience with someone very close to me experiencing that, but because they're two beautiful little kids who are innocent. And so when I explained this to this person who supposedly was close to me and that I love dearly, they showed zero emotions. When I showed them this, or when I talked to them about it, to me, the only thing they seemed to care about was whatever was going on in their life and how they were struggling. And they had the audacity to ask me for money. They showed no emotion, man. I was like, what is wrong with you? All you have to do is be a human, man. Like, I know you have a bad past, but be a human, bro. Show some emotions. Like, yeah, I understand you have a bad past. You have feelings, like you got your own story. But really, I know you lost loved ones. Does this not mean anything to you? They're two little kids. Like, how am I going to tell you about something so sad like this? How am I going to explain my emotions to you and then have you play them off as if it's really nothing important, and then completely disregard it and continue talking about yourself? So I took that to the heart, and I was like, nah, man, there is no way I can live with a person like this in my life. I know I've helped so many people, but unfortunately some people are just too far gone to really help. So that's it. I cut my losses and said, I can't deal with you. You're just gonna have to move on. And I just moved on myself too. So I no longer talk to this person. And if you have someone in your life like this, I suggest you do the same, man. It's not worth it. Some people are just too far gone to help. You can't help someone who doesn't want to help themselves.